Hello, this is First Fire Non-Assault Move. Welcome back to the 40th video in the War in the East series. Let's get a situation report. It's now the first week of December. We've advanced 2 weeks in the game. The reason for that, turn 76, there wasn't significant action to report to warrant having its own video, so we executed another turn, now turn 77, so this is 2 weeks of action to report. And let's start with Army Group North. We tried to squeeze the noose around Talanin, not very successful, but we did rout one of the divisions away, and the noose is tightening a little bit, but that's not the significant success. Of course, taking Talanin is great, but we wanted to get our front up here, and we're getting that and more. We were able to encircle the Soviets here, who did not pull back once they saw that we were having a breakthrough in their front to the north of them. Granted, all this mostly happened during this turn. Turn 76, again, it was a slog. We were fighting pretty hard to get a breach here, but finally we were able to break through, push the 57th Panzer Corps up to Lake Peipus. But I don't know, they may be able to get across now. Let's take a quick look. Oh, yeah, the big news also, we've reached blizzard conditions. So combat power was reduced, movement was reduced, but we were still able to attack relatively effectively. We kept the pressure on. We want to keep it on as long as possible and as reasonable for us. So ice level 7, which means this may freeze over. I don't know what level of troops will be able to cross, meaning will it just be infantry? Will mechanized and motorized be able to cross over? We'll find out probably on the next Soviet's turn if these troops can get away through this gap over the lake. I hope not, because if we have one more turn and they're not able to do that, we will be able to destroy these Soviets, which is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 formations here. A couple of them brigade and most of them divisions, but another 2 there and another 2 there. And the Soviets aren't careful, we will reach the Gulf of Finland and maybe get another encirclement here, a tiny one. These are all adding up. So that is the big news for Army Group North. Still pushing, trying to bend and break the Soviets along this sector of the front, north of Pskov, just to keep the pressure on multiple points where the Soviets have to react and distribute their forces in a non-advantageous way for them. So we go down south of Pskov. This line running from Pskov to Veliky Luki. Not much action occurred here. Blizzard conditions. We did widen our breach in the Soviet. Oh, I won't say breach. Our bridgehead over Veliky, the river here over Veliky Luki. So we pushed back the Soviets a little bit more just to secure our gains. See how far we got them away from the town right there. So that's good. I don't believe we will have to lose any ground here during the winter that's set in for sure. It's blizzard conditions now. And we'll see how the Soviets perform during their first blizzard turn. We did okay. We were able to attack. So from Veliky Luki all the way down to Smolensk region, still the same, digging in. You can see that our fort levels are increasing. Level 1s, a couple level 2s, but we're dug in fairly solidly along this line. Soviets like to always come adjacent and make those localized attacks where they can, but no threats right now. So from Smolensk down to Bryansk, more of the same. We're holding a line, a long line. If you really start from Pskov all the way down, really to Bryansk, and that may be what we're looking. That probably is what the front's going to look like for the next couple of months at least. You can see it's pretty steady. Both sides have about the same combat power throughout, but where we can, we'll achieve a little bit of superiority and will continue to try to rupture the Soviets' lines wherever we can to keep them on the back foot. That's the theme, continuing with that theme. So if you move down a little further for Bryansk, pushing past Bryansk, remember how hard it was to get over this river, these river systems here, but now we're well past them. A lot of hard fighting, and it took too long, but here we are at the gates of Orel, still pushing hard, and this is where we see stronger Soviet concentrations, and we managed to encircle 3 more Soviet corps. More than likely they'll be able to come up adjacent to this Panzer regiment and force it to withdraw, but still, that's making them react to us and not allowing them to come up and attack where they might want to. They could probably definitely remove this Italian division, motorized division, fairly easily. That's all right. That will be the extent of their actions, more or less. Maybe another attack or two in this area, but nothing threatening. We achieved this breach in the Soviets' front south of Kursk. This mostly happened during turn 77. Remember, we had the 14th Panzer Corps, which is pretty strong, poised over the bridgehead here, a little north. So we pushed forward, causing another concern for the Soviets. And if they're not careful, maybe getting an encirclement here. Another concern for the Soviets. From Kharkov down, more of the same, just holding in place, defensive line we've built up. And the Soviets, we can talk about this a little bit. They have a very thin line, really, that stretches from here. A little bit of a concentration, but really thin line as well. They have not massed up, stacked up, like we might have seen in months past. So I think the losses we are causing and the formations we are outright forcing to surrender and remove from the order of battle, it's taking its toll. Let's move back south to where some more significant action took place. So Dnepropetrovsk, we were able during this turn mostly, and a little bit last turn, to cause some Soviet forces to surrender. Right there, defending battle 1 of 3, a couple holds, but we did force. I'll show you right here just the amount. Corps in a division, 24,000 just between those two formations. Not bad. And again here, and then we did. Oh, yeah, we did try to attack. We just wanted to see what would happen and maybe get a favorable result. But Dnepropetrovsk held pretty strongly with 3 cavalry corps, but we'll move around into a better position because the Dnieper is really disrupting this front, this river network. So we'll get them over and mostly attack from the south where we have more of an attack surface. So we'll take Dnepropetrovsk. So the other significant action was to continue to push south and east, widening our gains here and threatening Zaporozhye, which it's kind of cluttered here. If we remove that, we can see the cities right there. We are adjacent to Zaporozhye. And the Soviets, oh yeah, a little breach here and a thin line here, some operational reserves, but all these are airfields. And our panzers were able to attack fairly well. We didn't push it. We have some panzer divisions that we did not commit fully because I don't believe if we did, the gains wouldn't warrant the losses and the consumption of supplies and put them out of position because I wanted to see a little better what was going to go on with the blizzards. So we kept them back a little bit, and that's all right. They can rest and refit a little bit. Speaking of that, we pushed, but we have these. We have the 39th resting and refitting, and also, well, there's 2 here, 39th and the 36th are all refitting on the rail lines. And these panzer divisions are poised to continue to attack. We'll see what the Russians do during their blizzard turn. But Zaporozhye is being threatened. And now we are continuing to widen our bridgehead. We are solidly over. There's no way the Soviets going to push us back now. And in fact, we are definitely superior in combat power from what is in front of us. But the blizzard conditions made attacking really difficult and crossing the Dnieper very difficult. So we couldn't get as many of our forces across as I wanted. But 11th Army is over the Dnieper. Yes, in another place, another spot for the Soviets to have some concern. And if they're not careful, we already have a motorized and a Panzer Division, 13th and 36th across. And now we have, this is all 3rd Panzer Corps. We now have the 22nd and the 20th ready on the west bank to cross. And if the Soviets aren't careful, there could be an encirclement here as well. If they retreat, that's fine. We just want to get a front really from Zaporozhye south. That would be fantastic because it would free up so many of our divisions, shorten the front, and really position us well for 1943. So that is about it for the summary of the past 2 turns. Romanians continue to keep the pressure on, their own pressure. They forced a couple withdrawals. So the more the Romanians can contribute, the better. It ties up Soviet forces. Take a strategic view of the front. Here we go. It's, I would say it's straightening out a little bit more. We had that significant salient around Kursk, but we've kind of made it into 2 separate salients. We're forcing the Soviets to maybe retreat out of here. If not, we may be able to get another few encirclements in here. And that's where they have some force concentrations. We do have the 14th committed. We did keep they are, oh yes, they are refitting as well, the 57th, and it should be the 30th as well. 57th and the 30th Panzer Corps are resting and refitting. Oh, I'm going to have to fix that. Oh yeah, I had to commit this regiment in order to get a full encirclement, so I'll have to get you in command and control. I'll probably assign you to 13th. How many do you have? Ooh, we already have 6. We'll figure out where you're going to be, which headquarters is going to take over there. How many do you have? Just 4, okay, that's good. We move down a little bit. That is the 17th Corps. You'll momentarily be attached to 17th. Oh, and this one is withdrawing, so in 4 weeks we're going to lose the 203rd. What did we say? 20. Where are you? 17th, right? Yep. Alright, now you should be in command and control. Yeah, okay. So that's good. So resting, about 4 Panzer Corps resting and refitting on the rail lines. Where to commit them? Again, I want to see how the blizzard affects combat operations in the next couple of turns and how strong the Soviets respond during blizzard conditions before I rail them anywhere specifically. I have a mind of at least putting 1 Panzer Corps up here in the Smolensk region. And we take a look. Let's go back up to Army Group North. This is really encouraging, I would think, because these forces will be destroyed pending them not escaping over the lake. These forces will be destroyed and also maybe get an encirclement of these forces. If anything else, we definitely are putting the pressure on the Soviets in Army Group North's area of operations now. And if they're not careful, we may be threatening Leningrad sooner than they would think, and maybe even in the realm of possibility at one point. I think they believed Leningrad was very securely in their hands and not even threatened in the slightest. But now that could be changing. The scale is tipping a little bit in the Germans' favor here. And the more the Soviets pull forces out to thwart any of Army Group North's efforts, that frees up. That provides opportunity for our forces further to the south. And it will take a while to rail any of these Soviet formations off the line all the way up to the rail yards in Leningrad and push them into the front in time. Do they have operational reserves? I'm sure they're always receiving some kind of reinforcement, operational reserves, and some of their disrupted formations are going to come back into the line eventually. Which, surprisingly enough, during some attacks here, we achieved some routes, which was great. And the Soviets are pressuring here and kind of being a nuisance, but we attacked back. We weren't letting them get the upper hand in this region. It at least make it a back and forth between these forces and not let the Soviets achieve anything significant during the blizzard months where they have some decent size forces here. But these concentrations are getting smaller and smaller. Here they're still pretty strong, and they did push against a couple of our infantry divisions during turn 76. But we're back into the line. A little light in some sectors, but we can't defend everything in great strength. So there's going to be parts in the front where the Soviets will have some favorable combat resolutions. We did receive some reinforcements, just a handful. Where did we route them? Oh, did I forget to move you? I did. All right. I do want to put reinforcements in and around this area, so let's do that now. I usually don't do this on camera, but I did forget this division. So we'll move them up here to get a little more strength in our defensive line here around Smolensk sector. We might expect the Soviets to attack during the blizzard weeks. Make sure we take them off the train, and let's make sure we assign them to Corps headquarters. 5. All right, you're gonna go to 5th Corps. Very good. And the other reinforcements I'm talking about, I hope I don't forget these guys next turn. So we got a couple of Luftwaffe field divisions here coming on, and another infantry division, and we are losing a couple of the Luftwaffe regiments that we received, maybe a couple months ago. They are now being withdrawn. So we did lose those. So weather considerations, we're at blizzard ice level 7, 6, and 5. I think 10 is the most severe, and maybe it gets worse for us in the next couple of turns. But I think a blizzard's a blizzard, regardless of the ice level. It's just the ground is becoming more and more frozen, and that affects water bodies. So what we witnessed offensively in the blizzard is probably what we're going to experience throughout the rest of the blizzard months. We're curious about what it's going to look like for the Soviets during the blizzard time, because if we remember, about 3.5 months we endured blizzard turns where the Soviets just attacked at will, and we were completely debilitated. Germany's forces were completely debilitated, and Soviets had the way with us. And I don't think, and I certainly hope, it's not going to be that way this time. Start. So if you didn't see anything, and I didn't see anything that I missed, I think we're ready for next turn. Did all our railroad repairs, which our supply network's not looking too bad, all things considered. Oh, this last turn, last 2 turns, the partisans were out in droves, and it was hard. It was hard to reach them in the snow and now the blizzards. So we chased them all off, but our road network's looking pretty healthy still. They're following perfectly along our rail lines. Obviously, that's their target, and it's hard to keep up. But we still have mostly contiguous supply line to the very front. Here's some problem areas developing, and we're going to have to pull back at least one or two of our manually controlled railroad repair engineers to start being a quick reaction force once again here in the mid-map, because we kind of been able to reach the extent of the front. We're always lagging behind in Army Group South's area of operations. We're mostly to the front everywhere else. We have a railhead almost all the way to the front, so that's good. Our autonomous railroad repair engineers are far slower in repairing the railroad network, but over time they get the job done. Here I have one that I wasn't sure where to commit it, because more than likely we're going to get partisans in and around here, so if I pull them out of position, they're just going to arrive here, where in the next turn this unit could just repair. But there were some over here, and we don't have anybody over here. You know what, I'm going to do that. Again, I apologize for doing this on camera. I just came to that conclusion. Where were they again? Oh dear, never mind. Alright, so right near, in and around this Romanian division, that's where we want to put them. And let's do that. Thought I was done everything. Forgot about this guy. Take him off the track. Does he have any other movement? Oh dear, I completely botched that. Alright, I won't have you have to watch this again. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I apologize for that. Usually I have caught everything, but I didn't this time. These partisans were not able to be reached. Just out of reach because of the blizzard conditions. So we have a couple of our forces ready to converge on this location to get rid of that partisan. Alright, everything is good to go. Let's click next turn. Get a little closer to the action. I was doing airdrops, but for some reason I didn't have the fighter cover, and I was starting to lose bombers when I was resupplying via airdrops, so I stopped doing that as much as I could have this turn. Preserve our bombers. Let's see in what strength the Soviets attack. During turn 76, they attacked fairly well here and there, just localized. Forced most of their attacks were favorable in forcing us to retreat. They weren't numerous, but Soviets will attack when they have the odds. Here, look right there, right above Orel, they got 9. Oh, our regiment, picking on our regiment. It's alright. That's all they do. It's fine with me. That's one of our newly arrived reinforcements. They're only like 6,000 strong forces. Yeah, they were able to kick back the Panther Regiment. Darn it! There's another one of our like smaller divisions, you could say. Table of organization. Not as beefy as a normal rifle division, infantry division. Well, attacking all of Tallinn. How about that? Out of supply. Definitely out of supply. Good hold there. I am delighted to see that we are not under the 1941 special rule. It's just blizzard effects for both sides, I think, is on equal footing now. Very good hold. 50 lost 50, they lost 800. Malachi Luki trying to take it back? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, that's where those reinforcements are going. Right into this sector. This is where they're strongest, other than the south. Although we've taken a chunk of force concentration in the south the past couple of weeks. Arel. This part of the front of Army Group Center and the top of Army Group South taken, yeah, most of the Panzer Corps are south. Centralize them a little bit better. That's where we're finding the Soviets have their greater strength now. So what I'm observing during this blizzard turn of the Soviets, I think they're a little stronger. They have a little better strength in their combat resolutions, their combat power to get these results. They're attacking north. It doesn't look like they're willing to concede Zaporozhye to us. What, what are they doing there? They pushed a pair of formations through a gap in our line way to the north around Talonen. Alright, so it's the blizzard, and similar to 1941, they are attacking more numerous attacks for sure. So they are benefiting a little bit. Our reduced combat power on the defense, and maybe they are not as affected as we are, as the Germans are, offensively in blizzard conditions, so they're doing a little better. The difference is going to be that we can attack now. Not to our full capacity, but we can attack now in the blizzards, and these attacks that you're doing, should they get overzealous like we're about to see around Talonen, we can make them pay for it. Right around average AFVs. They did rout, they routed a Slovakian and also forced our motorized division to retreat, so some tank losses there. Right about normal for a Soviet turn. 300 tanks though they lost. Huh. So blizzards again. So we're going to expect blizzards for the next Definitely January and February, so at least 8, 9, 10, at least 10 turns of blizzard weather, blizzard conditions. We'll check that out. Ice level 10 now, so we're almost at the worst it could be weather-wise. 9 and 7, so it's almost ice level 10 already in only the second week of December. So weather has struck fairly early in 1942. Oh, oh, I thought I saw all these forces getting over the river. Where did they get away? No, 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 don't tell me that. What are they doing? How many did we say? There was 6 or 7, right? 6. Did some get over the doggone lake? Ugh. I can't move over it. So they should not have been able to move over it. There's the 7th, right there. Okay, so none of them got away. That's wonderful. Wonderful. And what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, so you want to play, do you? Very good. See, stuff like this we can definitely take advantage of once these forces are freed up. And these forces, they will all be brought to bear. And look at that. Is this all they have to offer? I have of the mind to bait them in a little more after we finish off these forces, poise them here, and then reach the Gulf of Finland and get another encirclement. That is what we may plan there. No real concern anywhere else along the front. Forced a few of our divisions to withdraw. Nothing of operational significance. Localized attacks. Definitely defending Kursk. We'll see what we do here. I don't want to commit these Panzer Corps to this effort. Maybe, we'll see. Oh, let's do this on camera. They finally felt the pressure to the north. Absolutely. We'll take Sumi. Thank you very much. Another 9 victory points. What are we at? Probably not much different from when we last looked, but 186. Well, weren't we at 186 last time? We just added 9. Oh, maybe that will show up next turn. Yeah, that will probably show up next turn, so it'll probably be in the 290s. Moving further south. Okay, yeah. That will add Netropetrovsk, hopefully, for the next turn. Victory locations, that'll be 290. I'm sorry, not 290. 190, and then this will be probably put us in the 205 region, and then we're gonna continue attack. Definitely in this area, but the thing is, some of these Panzer Corps should be much farther north, contributing and helping out in Army Group Center's area of operations. Yeah, we'll see about that. Maybe get one here in Kharkov and come up with an encirclement of these forces here. Maybe accomplish that during the blizzard weeks. That would be disheartening for the Soviets. But definitely take Zaporozhye. We won't extract these Panzer Corps until we have at least taken Zaporozhye. And the Soviets mock us and leave these forces here, and we're across the Dnieper in force with 11th Army. Then we'll try to get another encirclement, or at least to reach the coast here, Sea of Azov. All right, all that to be looked at in planning considerations. We will end the video here. A lot has happened since the snow has arrived for the Germans, a little German mini winter offensive. The op tempo has been reduced, but we're going to continue to keep the pressure on wherever we can for the remainder of these blizzard months until it becomes not advantageous for us. But I think we'll be able to continue to get at least minor gains, setting us up for 1943. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. This is First Fire Non-Assault Move Out.